Hello all, welcome to this session. In this session, I am going to answer one of the Java interview questions. That is, explain array index out of bounds exception in Java. Let me answer. We get this exception in Java on trying to store more elements, okay, than the size of the array. When you created an array, you specified the size of the array, let's say as 3. But if you try to store more elements into the array, that is, let's say you are trying to store 4 to 5 elements into the array whose size is only 3. In that case, you will get array index out of bounds exception during the runtime. It's a runtime error or exception. You will not get this compiler error. But when you run the program and in the program, when you try to store more elements into the array than the size of the array, than the specified size of the array, in that case, you'll get the exception. Okay. And another case where you'll get this array index out of bounds exception is you try to access the array elements which are bigger in the size of the array, bigger than the size of the array. For example, the size of the array is 3, but you are trying to access the fourth element or fifth element from the array, which is not possible. There also you'll get array index out of bounds exception. Okay, if you are going behind the size of the array and trying to store the elements or trying to access the elements from the array behind the size of the specified size of the array, then you will get this exception, guys. Let me practically demonstrate this for you. For that, I'll switch to Eclipse IDE and create a new class. I'll just name this class as class Q with main method I'll create. And inside this, I'm going to create an array with some specified size. Okay. So integer array AR is equal to new int of, I'll just give the size. And if I try to store the first element into the array, no problem. You'll not get any error. And second, you'll not get any error. 2, AR of 2 at the third element. Okay, this is the first element I'm storing into the array, second element, third element. And trying to store fourth element now. Here, I mentioned the size of the array is 3. That means only 3 elements I can store into this particular array. But if I try to store fourth element into the array, I am going to get array index out of bounds exception. Run this code and observe that you will get array index out of bounds exception. Array index out of bounds exception. So the size of the array is 3. But you see, you are getting the exception or runtime error. While running the code, you will get the exception. The Java compiler will not give you any error. The exception is coming as array index out of bounds exception because you're trying to store fourth element into the array, though the size of the array is only 3. Okay. So similarly, what other thing is like, for example, if I say system.out.println AR of 4, if I say, okay, the size of the array is 3. So 0, 1, 2 are allowed. But here fourth index, third index, even third index or fourth index not possible, right? So if the size of the array is 5, then AR of 4 will be possible. AR of index 4, that means fifth element, okay, will be possible. But here only 3 elements can be stored into the array and trying to access. Now you are trying to access the fifth element of the array, which is not there. In that case also you'll get the same exception, that is array index out of bounds exception. This is same exception, array index out of bounds exception, and during runtime you'll get because the size of the array is only 3 and you are trying to access the array element having the index 4, which is the fifth element of the array, which is not possible because the size of the array is only 3. Fourth, fifth element is not possible. Okay. So with practical demonstration, I've answered this question for you and explained what exactly is array index out of bounds exception and when do it occur. Okay, in different cases I covered as part of this session. So that's all for this session. Thank you. Bye-bye.